Evening, guys. That was a fucking nice light one to start with, wasn't it? So my name's Burle. I'm a poet, and I'm psyched because this is my debut performance. So. I won't sit here and tell you about my extremely troubled life and talk about all those sorts of things. I've got a couple of poems for you guys, and the next poem, I will tell you a little bit of the background. I actually wrote it about a year ago, and it was the first poem that I wrote. It was kind of for me. I never thought I'd be on here giving it to all you lovely lot. And I wrote it a year ago, and it was after a bad breakup, and it was in a time after that where I was sort of trying to pick up the pieces for myself and have time for myself to sort of rebuild. And I had a couple of weeks of doing that, and it was good. And then I thought, oh, you know what? Stuff it. I'm all right. I want to get on Tinder now. And I was just, I wasn't really looking for anything. And I obviously matched with a girl, and we met for a date, and the connection was ridiculous, and it took me by surprise. And after that date, I went home and I wrote this poem, and I was just crying and stuff. It was mad. And then the worst part of this story is, literally, I think after about the second or third day, I actually read this poem to her, so she must have thought it was absolutely amazing. But we're still with each other now, so there is a good moral in the story. But this is, I hope people can relate to this one, because it's about when you you meet someone. Sometimes you meet someone at exactly what you think in yourself is the wrong time, and it's about kind of being vulnerable. I think we could all be more vulnerable at points, and it's about giving yourself over to someone. I did write this when I was very upset, and there was an orange on my table, on my desk, and I literally thought, there is a poem in that, and you're about to hear it. This one is called The Process. I'm an orange. I want you to take me with your two soft hands and breathe me in. Maybe then you'll see past the bruises. I want you to peel me so my zest can engulf you. Once you peel me, the freshness of your air may dry me out, but I will take that risk to show you my soft skin, filled with wrinkles, which are filled with stories, which are filled with her, which are filled with passion like you wouldn't believe. Once peeled, I need you to discard my hard exterior. I will want to hold on to it. For me, please throw it as far as you can. Now I am here. I am bare. Over time, I'll give you every segment of me. Every fragment is delicate and fragile. Treat me with care. Don't be afraid if one piece doesn't break away with ease. Pull me apart and help me move on. During this, I may leak. It's not your fault. Every piece of me is ready to burst. If you feel the wetness on your hands, it's my way of showing you I'm ready. So what are you waiting for? Put me to your lips. Please, say them. So, I'm going to do it a little bit weird this time. I've got one more poem for you guys, and after that I'm going to shoot off. So I just wanted to say thank you very much for coming along. Cheers to the Wheel for having me. If you have liked my stuff, I think my Instagram link, whatever it's called, is in the flyer that they gave you, whatever that's called. That's out the door. Yeah, so this last poem is one that's really important to me. So when I first started poetry, the first poetry book that I ever bought was, and I'm sure a lot of people will recognise the name, Rupi Kaur, who is an incredible feminist poet, and I bought it and I had this book, and obviously I'm a guy and she's talking about a lot of issues of what it is to be a lady in this 21st century where it's twisted and confused and no one really knows what's going on. And it really hit me because obviously as a guy I was like, wow, like, I never would have seen it from that perspective. And a lot of the poetry that I see is some incredible feminist poets. And when I go and I look at, I've got loads of male poets that I really like, no one seems to be talking about what it's like to be a guy and sometimes the confusion there and how it can be difficult. So this one, as much as it is for the guys, is also for the ladies in the room, and I hope, you know, maybe it gives a new perspective for all of us and we can get something from that. I quite literally finished this one early hours of the morning last night. And it's not even finished, but I've rounded it off, and yeah, thank you all for a very good night. I'm told that to be a real man is to have a centre like a 1900s washing board. I'm told I need this, along with arms like Grand Canyon boulders, shoulders broad like sweeping hills, legs as dense as mammoths. Oh, and don't forget a bum that needs to be tight and perky, because apparently females get an urge to bite it or some weird shit like that, and I'm told that's a good thing, a manly thing. But then I'm told to be a real man, you should have a bit of a belly on you. Oh, and you should have hair, but not too much, otherwise you're not a real man, because a real man would take care to groom himself. I'm told to be a real man, I should have facial hair, and I should coat that beard with a musty, blokey oil. And I should spray myself in Calvin Klein, and I should wear Calvin Klein boxers, or that should at least look like the bodies and the models of Calvin Klein, or fuck it, I should just look like Calvin Klein, and I'm fucked because I don't even know what he looks like. I'm told to be a real man, my largest muscle needs to be my penis. Strong and sturdy like a private school ruler. And I'm told to be a real man, I need to have a dick the size of Jonah Falcon's. And if you don't know Jonah Falcon, look him up. I'm told being a man isn't about size, and then I'm told the only men who tell me that are the ones with the prepubescent dicks and therefore aren't real men. And half the wives are telling me their man is a real man because he knows how to pleasure her. And the other half are telling me he's a real man because he listens. I'm told the key to being a real man is to act on her insecurities, but then the guys tell me if I pander to her own wit, and the girls tell me if I don't listen I'm not a real man, because a real man will be able to see what she sees. And I'm told I should be as humble as Gandhi, but I should also be as confident as Trump. This poem is for the man who doesn't know himself. This poem is for the ladies. Whenever you suffer from injustice in this world, remember there is always a male suffering in silence with you. This one's for the rare but existing power-hungry feminists who I've seen on occasional nights rip apart good men. This one's for the dads that abuse their children and tell them big boys don't cry. This one's for the men who need to cry like little boys. This one's for the media and how they represent my gender. This poem is for the transgender man who is still struggling to find out what being a man is. I'm sure still trying to work it out too. This poem is needed, as too many of my age and my gender can't live in their own skin without feeling inadequate. Think before you say man up. Think before you say that is a real man. We've already lost too many of them. Thank you very much.